Bonkers Network, we would like to remind everybody that certain topics of discussion may not be comfortable for all listeners. Certain viewpoints may not reflect those of our partners, sponsors, affiliates, our hosts, or that of our guests. We would like to encourage everybody to keep a respectful and open climate of discussion for all topics, no matter how disturbing they may be. So viewer discretion is advised.
Bald and Bonkers works out so well. But listen, things are chaotic in the world. So yes, we'd like to get a little goofy from time to time. But strange shit is happening. Things that are supposed to have such minuscule odds. Minuscule odds. You would have better odds in playing the lottery ticket and winning 10 times over than the odds of certain paranormal events taking place. Yet these things are happening, and they are happening more. So we need to have a discussion. We need to have an unfiltered, unbiased discussion and get as many people involved to realize, hey, something big is about to happen. And yes, the world is chaotic. We know. Again, that's why we act like total idiots. That's why we aren't afraid to show our true colors. But at the end of the day, you can't argue that perhaps we're on the verge of some of the greatest discoveries mankind has ever experienced.
And that is why we bring you the Bald and Bonkers Show.
Maybe you can get on my boat and make it rock.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Sunday show. Today we have the Wizard's Table, and I'm just going to say we're going to live up to the fucking intro and let it all out based on the conversations we already had before coming on live.
I'm damaged. That's all I'm going to say. I'm damaged.
Oh, shut up, you liar.
He loved that shit. He loved it. I saw him touching himself earlier.
This is what I mean, guys. You're in for a treat tonight, guys. And I would like to formally introduce the Wizard Table. Guys, I've been looking forward to meeting you after watching all your lives. How are you? And that's what this is, by the way.
Thanks, bro. Appreciate it. Actually, you know what? Appreciate it. Appreciate you guys having us on. It means a great deal to us. Bald and Bonkers. I mean, you guys live up to that because I've watched a lot of your shows too, and you are fucking bald.
Yes, I know.
Y'all are fucked up in the head, so y'all are bonkers. Y'all are bonkers.
We're definitely bonkers, but aren't we all? You know?
I've been looking forward to it. So,
but guys in the chat, while you're here, Facebook podcast, please check out the links below for their channel. Please go and give them a big subscribe and go to their next live. When is your next live, guys? Before we get into some crazy talk.
Next Saturday.
Right.
Saturday coming up.
Right. So, guys,
not yesterday, bitches. Saturday coming up.
I don't know. Some of our guests may have a time machine. They might go back in time and watch you again. You know.
Yeah,
you know what? I wish somebody would have a time machine because my queer ass would go back in time and have sex with myself. I am not kidding.
God, what would
that part is not kidding.
No, I'm not kidding. I would totally do me.
There you go. So I will hand you over to my co-host tonight, Dakota. Take it away, my friend. The man.
All right. Well, first off, let's get past the damn boring dating profile questions. How did you guys first get started in this?
All right, Mistress Bee, go ahead, baby.
I gotcha. Ken has been in the occult for years. He was raised in Strega, which is Italian folk magic. I didn't delve into magic until my mid-20s when I started questioning the Christianity I was raised with and started looking into some other things. So I started reading tarot, and then I met Ken through my boyfriend. Ken's husband is my boyfriend's father, and so when Ken and I met, we instantly clicked, and Ken said, I'd like to start a podcast, can you help me? So I thought, okay, I'm just going to help him set it up, I'm going to show him the ropes and then I'm going to let him go. And turns out a couple days before the podcast, he was like, no, you're going to be my co-host. And here we are.
All right.
It's honestly, you have a really good channel, guys. And I hope everybody in the chat goes and gives you a big subscribe. Because,
Thank you. We appreciate it. We love having new people to the Wizards table. We love getting to know people and hearing their questions. And there are so many people that are curious about what we do, and we're more than happy to help with that.
Yes, well, there's people in the chat, and including myself. I'll be watching you from now on because I find it very interesting, the stuff that you do. And there's no much information out there. That's the problem. Okay, I mean, it's a kind of the world we live in today is a kind of, it's just the way people are. They don't like stuff like this getting out. And I think everybody should have the right to do what they want and say what they want.
Yeah, I agree.
Exactly.
Yeah. Dakota?
All right. Why am I the one that has to do all the questioning here, Chris? You're usually
I did it
talking.
last night. I did it last night. I didn't know the interviewing last night. I've got what do you call it? I've got pollen. I've got I can't stop sneezing and sniffing because of the pollen season. So Ken, can I ask you a question? How did you get into this? How did you start off in this field? How did it all happen for you? What caused it?
Sure. Yeah. Pretty simple for me. My mother is Sicilian.
Right.
And of course, her mother and grandmother and grandfather, et cetera, father, whatever, they're all Sicilian. And in the female line of my Sicilian ancestry, they all practice what's called strega, which is basically Italian/Sicilian folk magic. Now, it's kind of similar to American Hoodoo in the sense that there's a lot of Christianity involved. However, it's more Catholicism than like your Protestant, Dakota knows what I mean. So that's really, I was kind of raised in that, but I was so young, I saw these fat Italian women doing all this shit, and I was like, well, okay, this is cool. I don't know what they're doing, but it's cool. And then once I turned 9, 10, 11 years old, I began to realize, oh, this is magic. This is fucking sorcery. This is great shit. And then, of course, I branched off from there. And technically, I've been practicing sorcery in one form or another since I was 11 years old. And I am 46 now, and I'll be 47 in October, baby. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go, man. I'm 41 this year, It's just it's life, isn't it? The magical life. Don't worry, I'm sure you'll still be around when you're 120,
Man, y'all
I will, because I sold my soul to Satan. Satan promised me I would be around.
You don't have a soul. You know that.
I don't have a soul. Satan has it.
It's something that I've always wanted to ask someone that practices stuff that you do. How do you actually sell your soul to Satan?
You don't.
What do you actually do?
Okay.
You don't.
The truth of the matter is you don't. There's a lot of what's called grimoires written by the Inquisition actually wrote a lot of the grimoires. People don't realize that. They won't accept that. But the church actually wrote a lot of the fucking grimoires, all right? Oh, yeah. Very damaging stuff. That's a whole other layer to the onion, baby. Oh, yeah. But there are rituals in like what's called the Grand Grimoire. The Grand Grimoire is real. I do have a copy of it. And there are rituals in there where you can sell your soul to certain, not just Satan, but various other demons in exchange for extreme amounts of sorceretic power. But soul selling, that's not a thing. It's not a reality. You can't fucking sell your soul. That's bullshit. And anybody that says otherwise, they need to be flushed down the toilet and kicked in the face.
There goes Katy Perry.
Because you get that
lion riding bitch.
Yeah, you get a lot of like YouTube and that. You got all these like superstars that say they've sold their soul to like Satan and stuff like that, so they can become famous and so they become rich. I don't think that's the case. I think
that's bullshit.
I think they're doing something else.
No, they tried to accuse Mae West. Do you even know who that is, Mae West? Come up and see me sometime, big boy.
I know
Right.
who you're talking about.
Your 80-year-old viewers will know who Mae West is. She was a sex icon way back before even Marilyn Monroe. But they tried to say that Mae West sold her soul and all that kind of shit. Look, yes, there is power in the occult, 100%. The occult works. Sorcery works. Magic works. Me and Mistress Bee, we would not do this shit. We would not waste our time if this shit didn't work. Of course it works. Yeah. But cell-souling, not a thing, baby. Success, of course it can fucking bring you success. I have been extremely successful all my life. I've done shit I couldn't imagine. You know, I used to be a very successful radio DJ in Tallahassee, Florida. My ratings were top notch. Yeah, I did top 40 radio. I was a shock jock, and my shit was off the chain, baby. But
yeah, you definitely got that look about you.
You do. You have that kind of. It's the way your accent. It's the way you speak to the. It's the way you do the live. That's crazy. That's absolutely so strange. That
explains a lot. There we go.
So can I ask you what good things you can do with this kind of magic? Because obviously, after satanics, it's like it's all surrounded by evilness, and that's what all the people say it as. But obviously,
I don't believe in absolutes. I don't believe in absolute good or absolute evil. Just want to put that out there real quick and be done with that shit. No such thing, baby. That's bullshit.
What kind of spells? What kind of good things can be accomplished from? We've lost.
Oh my God, dude! There's a lot. I'll give you an example. First of all, there's a lot of spells that can do good. Healing spells, spells for profit, spells for money. For example, I work with the demon Bune, B-U-N-E. And, okay, just hear me out. He has what's called an N-E-N-N. It's an invocation for Bune. Before I go out and I play the lottery or do any of that shit, I invoke Bune. And here's how I invoke him. Or here's the words that I use. Welch Melan Avaj Buntasa. And then I do my scratch off. Every fucking time I've done that, especially when I'm in need for money. For example, my son needed it. He's 5 years old. He's amazing. He wants to be like his dad. Yeah. He needed dental work done. I won $2,500 and something off of a scratch off.
Really?
Well, actually, it was 2 scratch offs, but yeah. So, okay, you can get money, which is always good. You can heal people. Okay. I don't want to say I'm a master because there's only one living rune master, and her name is Freya Oswin. We've had her on our show, The Wizard's Table. Right. Freya Oswin. But I created a rune spell, to heal a guy who was in a coma. They were going to pull the plug. As they often say, pull the plug. There's more to it than that. But they were going to pull the plug on him. And I said, wait, please. I begged them and I pleaded with them. Give it 3 fucking days because on average, a spell takes 3 days. There's power in the number 3. Power in the number 3. 3, 9, and 12. A lot of power in that. And 13. But anyway, so 3 days later, after I created this rune spell out of what's called Uruz. Uruz is 3 runes connected to the Urach. Any of your viewers or listeners who know what the runes are will know what that means. He came out of that. He came out of that coma. 100%. 100%. So, I mean, dudes, there's a lot of good shit that can be done with spells and magic and the occult. It's not all just about killing and maiming and destroying and cursing and breaking up relationships. Yeah.
Look, it's got a bad name because of Christianity. Let's face it, Christianity has done a lot of damage.
It's done a hell of a lot of damage because because I work with demons, and most of the demons and Mistress Bee will back me up on this 225.869%. Oh, did I say 69? Anyway. She will back me up on this. Most demons are actually ancient gods. Canaanite gods, Phoenician gods, Babylonian, Mesopotamian. So, I'm sorry. Go ahead, baby.
Oh, no, you're good. I'm opening my sunroof. I'm hot as a motherfucker.
No, yeah, because that bitch in Florida like me.
I will say this: like Christianity has done a lot of damage over the years. I mean,
Yeah,
let's face it, it's a problem, and I probably get bumped at the stake for this, but I don't give a fuck. There's a lot. It's
Say
done
what
a
you
lot
want.
more damage. It's done a lot more damage than a lot of other religions has. I mean, I mean the Bible. Don't get me wrong. The Bible has got some good words in it. Like, don't harm any of that. But it has done. You just need to look about what it did in the 1700s, 1800s. Look what it did when the Spanish conquistadors went to South America. Look what it did there, and they started. You see where I'm going with this? It's.
Yeah.
I don't think. What am I trying to say here, Dakota? Can you help me out here? It's like I think it has done a lot of damage, right? It's done a lot of damage. It's done a lot of good, but it's done a lot of damage. And in today's society, it is still doing a lot of. I mean, you look at the wars all over the world because of Christianity. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And of course, it's done a lot of damage.
Yeah.
I don't think that you're allowed to say that it's good as a whole. You have to encompass everything that it's done, and I think it's done too much bad to outweigh the good.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. Yeah.
And that goes for all organized / Abrahamic religions, whether it's Christianity, Judaism, Islam. Yeah. It's all fucking deadly, dangerous, and destructive.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like...
Because most demons, and Mistress Bee will back me up on this, actually all the demons were ancient pagan. Again, I know I said this before just a few minutes ago, are ancient pagan gods that were demonized. Yes, I do refer to them as demons. They don't seem to fucking mind. Whatever. But they were ancient gods.
Yeah.
You know, and Christianity did this to the Middle East. These gods come out of the Middle East. They tried to do this shit to the European. For example, heathenry. Frumsed, Asatru, Odin and Thor and Freya. They try to do that to those gods as well.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, let's take the Middle East, right? The Middle East, imagine if Christianity hadn't been in there. Can you imagine how totally different that would have been? There wouldn't be attacks, there wouldn't be terrorism. It's not just that, it's not just Christianity. Other religions cause a lot of problems, right? And
even other pagan religions, even other pagan religions from warring tribes will take over other tribes, and people will not only adopt but convert to that, to those gods and goddesses, etc. So of course, it's not just organized religion; it's everywhere. But it's a human flaw. It's a terrible human flaw.
Oh yeah.
And what I was going to ask you about is, see, when we were talking a couple of days ago about, you were telling us about a church you had to clear out. Could you tell us something a wee bit about that? Because I found that very, very interesting.
Okay, yeah, sure. Yeah. So most people who know who and what I am know that I do work and practice what's called demonolatry, which is different than demonology. But I do work with demons. I work with them on a very respectful level. But I have a couple guardian demons. Orobos is one of them. Stolas is one of them. And I have a guardian jinn. Jinn being a different entity than demons. And most people, especially of Islamic descent, will clump demons and jinn in the same thing. No, they're different. Anyway, there was a local church that was used to be a Catholic church. It was decommissioned. They moved, whatever. I guess they got more money or whatever. And a young couple moved into this place, and it became their home.
Yeah.
It was a guy and a girl, and they had a baby, 9, 10 months old. I don't fucking remember. It's been a long time. It's been at least 8 years now. But they would wake up in the middle of the night, and the toilets would be flushing, windows would be opening and closing, books on their shelves would be flying off and knocked down or whatever. They would be pushed and shoved. Nothing really bad. No scratching or any of that shit you hear about. But so I went in there. They called me. Mutual friend contacted a mutual friend. They got in contact with me. What I basically did was I got into an altered state of consciousness. Now, I did this without the use of any chemical assistance. Basically, what I did was I used a hand drum, and I beat the hand drum at 220 beats per minute, which it doesn't matter who you are. You hear that monotonous beat, it's going to put your mind into a theta state, okay? Yeah. And that's what allows you to leave your consciousness, to leave your body. So I got into that theta state, and I contacted my demon. His name is Orobos, one of my guardian demons, Orobos. Mm-hmm. And he was like, dude, this isn't a human spirit. This isn't another demon. This is a fucking angel, bro. It's an angel. So, yes, I had to banish an angel because he was pissed off. It was no longer a Catholic church. Plain and simple.
Yeah.
Goddamn.
So. It's actually terrifying, that, actually, because I can see where you're coming from there, because that's maybe pissed off. That angel's sitting there, it's pissed off. It's like, oh, this couple's not married, this couple's no this, it's no seen it, and it's that, and then that is actually quite frightening, because I know a lot of churches that have been turned into like houses and stuff. It makes you wonder. Dakota, would you like to take over, bud?
Well, first off, I was just going to say this, Chris. I was just going to say, I've told you several times that angels can be fucking dicks.
Okay, amen.
And there's a lot of demons out there, a lot more honest than most humans.
Absolutely. 100%.
Yeah, and I know this is a very broad topic. You can probably do a whole documentary special on this. But what would you guys say is the biggest misconception? Because I know you do a lot to try to clear up some things that, I don't want to say Christianity, I just want to say idiots have messed up over history when it comes to the type of stuff you study.
Oh, Jesus.
I think the biggest misconception is that demons are evil. And they're only out to get you, and the only reason to work with demons is to do evil things, and that's just not true. You can work with demons. I've worked with demons to help me in finances. I've worked with demons to help me in health matters. I mean, Ken uses them for everything, hardly anything evil. But they're not evil. They're misunderstood. They're cast out. They're painted as evil by modern Christianity, and so people are scared of them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I mean, you will obviously get demons that are bad. Like, you'll get angels that are bad. Have you ever encountered a really, really bad demon that's even pissed off with you?
I have encountered an entity. If you want to call it a demon, that's fine. I have done or performed an exorcism on a lady one time who lived in Pensacola. It was pretty fucking intense. And this entity was a non-human entity. And this woman was like 77, 76, some shit like that. Her daughter got in contact with someone who knew me. I drove over there, and I basically did a combination of Roman Catholic exorcism and voodoo or voodoo. Who the fuck is calling me? Anyway, voodoo exorcism, and got this thing off this lady. Also, I do practice my spiritual path is more voodoo related. Mistress Bee's been in my voodoo temple. She can tell you about it as well. But I had a lady contact me again, from the Pensacola area. I don't know what the fuck's going on in Pensacola, but goddamn, y'all better quit fucking taking vacations over there. This lady contacted me from Pensacola, and she drove to my house. She wasn't possessed or anything, but she had a horrible attachment. So I brought her inside my Voodoo temple or my Voodoo temple. It depends on who you ask, Voodoo, Voodoo, whatever. And I did a series of techniques on her to get this spirit off of her. And I saw this spirit. I actually saw it, and it was female. And it was black, and it had like this black sludge all over it, and its arms were very tentacle-like. And as I was saying these voodoo prayers, and I was actually also using Native American techniques, I was singing in Lakota, because I learned some shit from a Lakota, not a medicine man, but a Lakota sun dancer. Yeah. I don't know if you know what that is or not. If not, look it up. They still do that. Lakota sun dancer taught me some powerful songs to get rid of bad or negative spirits, and I got this shit off of her. My God in heaven, it took me like 4 fucking hours, bro. And my apprentice was there, and he had to carry me out of my temple. I was so exhausted because she lived so far away. We had to get this shit off of her. Yeah, I don't know how the fuck she even picked it up. I think she was doing amateur paranormal investigations and fucking around and shit like that. You know.
Right.
Yeah.
It's quite interesting. I just want to say to Mike, the Naked Bigfoot in the chat, welcome Mike. Mike here actually in the chat, he's a voodoo and hoodoo priest. And he's actually, I've listened to him a few times, and he's told me about, he doesn't believe in the word demon, and he doesn't believe in the word angels. He just believes that they're entities. I mean,
and that's fine, you know, whatever people believe. I mean, at the end of the day, it's all energy. It's all energy. Demons, gods, angels, whatever. It's all energy, you know.
What would you say was the oldest one you've ever come into contact with? The oldest, say, entity? I'll just call it an entity for now instead of a demon.
The oldest? Are you asking me or Mistress Bee, baby?
Both of you. What would you say was the Mistress Bee or Ken? What would you say was the oldest entity, demon, or whatever they're called, god, or whatever they were? What was the oldest one you've ever come into contact with?
I've only worked with a couple. I've only worked with Stolas and Orobus. So mine are those two. Those are the only two that I've worked with so far. But I'd like to work with more entities. Ken is more the expert.
I would say the oldest that I've ever worked with is the god / demon called Belial. Some people pronounce it as Belial. Some people pronounce it as Belial. Belial is
that name.
Exactly, yeah, very powerful, very, very, very powerful. Actually, I've worked with Paimon too, but anyway, Belial basically means he who is without a master. Is one of the most powerful demonic entities in existence. So I guess, and he was considered second to Lucifer in the fall. Yeah. Just going down the Christianity line for convenience, so people can
understand,
have a sense of timeline or whatever the fuck, you know. But yeah, he's pretty powerful. And go ahead, baby.
I was going to ask, have you ever worked with Lucifer himself?
Oh, absolutely. Fuck yeah.
What kind of things?
Absolutely. I'm sorry?
What type of things have you worked with Lucifer with?
When I work with Lucifer, it's more spiritual than material. It's very spiritual because Lucifer is the breaker of chains. He is the giver of enlightenment to mankind. He is the Prometheus. Yeah. He's like the giver of fire to mankind. So yeah, Lucifer is very powerful, and he's, my God, working with him, there's so much revelation in working with Lucifer.
Yeah.
So yes, I'm very comfortable with him, and he's very protective. And I've been in situations where I've been pulled over by state troopers, and I've had to say his end, and it's been all good. Either the state trooper was a homosexual and wanted to do things with me, or he. I'm not kidding.
Florida.
I'm not.
Oh God!
Only in Florida.
Only in Florida.
But I feel that was Lucifer's influence, and either way, I got out of that shit. So, but yeah, Lucifer. I love Lucifer.
You should do
I have a lot of respect for him. He's a guardian.
You should do a holiday advert for Florida. Go to Florida and meet Satan.
That's hot down there.
When you go to Dakota, I'm going to let you go for a change.
That's pretty fucking hot.
We're even
here.
freaking out Mike. We're freaking out Mike the Naked Bigfoot. Do you see this shit? Oh, God. Oh, it looks like we actually have a question for you guys from the chat. What is your guys' opinion on Leviathan?
The Leviathan, the great serpent. I love her. I love Leviathan, the great serpent. There's a thing called the lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram. All right. Now, I recommend any and all paranormal investigators learn how to do the lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram before they go into an investigation, because it will protect them. It calls upon the Hebrew names of the Jehovah God. Jehovah is basically just a Canaanite mountain god, whatever. But it still works. It's pretty powerful stuff. But I do the demonic ritual of the pentagram. So, what was the question again?
What do you think about Leviathan?
What was the question again? Oh.
What do you think about the Leviathan?
Leviathan is one of the great giants, or Jotuns, if you want to put it in Norse perspective, of the west, of the waters. So I like Leviathan. It's hard as fuck to communicate with Leviathan, because even though Leviathan is looked at as female, I think Leviathan is asexual. What do I think? I think it's cool. I don't know what else to say.
I'm the same. I'm sitting here. I've never really heard the term Leviathan before. I've heard that term, but I was trying to think.
Leviathan is in the Bible. It's in the Bible. You start reading Revelations, it talks about Leviathan coming out of the sea, et cetera, et cetera. But my work with Leviathan has been very, very surface work, nothing in depth. But I do like Leviathan. She, him, it, her, they, whatever. Is protective of the Western quadrant if you're doing what's called the demonic ritual of the pentagram versus the lesser ritual of the pentagram. What's Bee's opinion also? Go ahead, baby.
Yeah.
I kind of think of working with new entities like getting into a bar fight. Never challenge somebody to a bar fight that you don't think you can whoop their ass. So I personally haven't worked with Leviathan because I know that I am not powerful enough to contain or banish Leviathan. So I'm going to do that in the company of Ken, and we'll see what happens from there. But I'm excited to work with all sorts of different entities.
Here's a question for you guys here, and it's wait a minute. I brought up the wrong person there. Wait a minute, Shrimp Shack. Mike the Naked Bigfoot. Have you ever? What's that? Dakota trucked?
Yes, I have. Yes, Legba. I do work with Legba. I love. I sometimes call him Papa Legba, Papa Legbas, Peter Legbas, because he's synchronized with Saint Peter in Christianity. In fact, that's how I got started in Voodoo. Was Legba showed up in my dreams several nights in a row and called to me. And I erected what's called a potomiton. I'm sure he'll know exactly what that means. I erected a potomiton, and I started working with Legba, giving him offerings of Jamaican rum and very black, rich coffees and stuff like that. And he taught me various techniques on what's called a djembe drum to call him. because there's different ways to summon these Loa, L-O-A or L-W-A, are the spirits in Voodoo. They're called Loa, spirits/gods, and there's different beats and shit you do like that to call them, other than just the occasional French Creole prayer, stuff like that.
Very, very, very interesting. Here's actually a question for you. I was thinking about this. You brought up the Bible, right? You brought up the End of Days Bible. And the End of Days. Does the Satanic... I don't have a clue. The Satanic Bible, and that, does that have like an End of Days in it? Does that have a passage for the End of Days?
Yeah, there's chapters in the Satanic Bible about the primary entities, like the Book of Lucifer, the Book of Belial, all that's in there. Me and Mistress Bee did a couple shows, actually. We did a show on our podcast, The Wizard's Table, where we read some passages out of the Satanic Bible, and we looked at it, we interpreted it, we talked about it, whatever. The Satanic Bible that was written by Anton Zandorleve is actually it's not theistic. It's considered non-theistic Satanism. But I believe in 90 to 95% of the philosophy written therein. A lot of what's written in the Satanic Bible reads like a pagan instruction manual. Some of it is silly, but I do agree with the philosophy. So the philosophy of Satanism is very, very sound. If you have never read the Satanic Bible, I suggest you go out, buy a copy. It's only like $9 fucking. I don't know how much it is in euros. Maybe 8, maybe 7. I don't know how that shit works.
I don't think there's a passage about the end of days. I haven't read the whole thing. But basically the Satanic Bible is saying that our end of day is going to come one way or another by hell or high water, and so we should live our best life while we're here. So the end of days isn't really as important. It's acknowledged as inevitable, but it isn't feared.
Yeah, so if that's what you're asking, no, there's no end of days type scenario in the Satanic Bible. None of that shit exists. No,
you know what the Bible's like, and the hellfire will rain down from heaven and stuff like that.
Yeah, I know.
A great spiel, and it goes on, 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 and it goes on. And then they talk about people living till 999 years old, then dropping down dead. It's very interesting. I'm just, hey, Shrimp Shack in the chat. I mean, can you tell us a wee bit about being a Satanist? What is it actually like? How did you get into becoming a Satanist?
I don't know if I could tell you anything.
Go ahead, baby. Go ahead, sweetheart.
There's a difference between being a Satanist and worshiping Satan. I think that's something that's really important to acknowledge. So being a Satanist isn't about worshiping anything. It's treating yourself like a king and a god and like those entities to be revered. And the basic principles are pretty simple to adhere to. It's do whatever you want, whenever you want, to whomever you want, as long as you aren't being unjustly hurt. If somebody hurt you, it's justified to hurt them. But it's very do as you would have others do unto you, if that makes sense.
Yes.
So I think if a lot more people were Satanists, the world would be a better place.
It probably would be a better place.
I agree with that.
I agree with you there. I agree with you. The world is a messed up place right now. A big messed up place. Dakota, would you like to?
Actually, I do have something that might be in your guys' field. Have you ever encountered what is known as a tulpa or a thought form in dealing with your cases?
I have. Yes, I have dealt with what's called a PK entity, basically the same shit. So I live in North Florida, Tallahassee, Florida area, capital of Florida. And I had a lady who contacted me. Oh, God, this was probably 3.5, maybe 4 years ago. And I don't even remember. Oh, I do. She contacted a New Age store, whom I were friends with the owner, and owners, and they contacted me, whatever. And so she said that her house was being haunted. So I went over there with my apprentice at the time, and I did an occult-like investigation. And there was something there. There was something there, and it did display intellect, but I don't believe it was human or non-human. Okay. Basically, she was manifesting this shit with her own mind. First of all, she had a lot of mental health issues to begin with. She was inadvertently creating a PK entity or a servitor, if you will. And I'm going to tell you, that's some of the hardest fucking shit to get rid of, dude, because you have to work on the living person. You got to get their mind right first, because if not, they'll keep manifesting that shit. Yeah, supernatural things were happening. Paranormal things were happening. No doubt about it. So, yeah. Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Here's a question I've got for both of you. It's something that I've always... What's your thoughts on I'm going to use the demon word here, right? What's your thoughts on the demonic Zozo from the spirit board stuff? What is your thoughts on that?
Good God.
I had to say it. It was playing away in my mind. What's your thoughts on it? You're choking to death there and something there.
Yeah, how the fuck is something like Zozo supposed to be threatening?
I know. But what is your thoughts on that?
Yeah, well, all my years of working with the demonic, the demonic divine, let's call it the infernal or the demonic divine, I've never run across anything called Zozo. Never have. If Zozo is anything, it is a spirit that somehow networked itself into Ouija boards to just fucking troll people.
That's what. Yeah,
I don't think it's any kind of demonic force. Yeah, it's not a demonic force.
Yeah, it's like I know people that obviously deal in the exorcism side of stuff and that, and you get these things called like twisted souls, obviously human souls that have became so bad and so twisted. Have you ever encountered anything like that? That's for both of you.
A human soul that's been what now?
Twisted. It's called twisted soul. You never heard of the term twisted soul?
I'm not familiar with that terminology. I'm sorry.
It's Dakota. Can you maybe explain it better for me?
Essentially, it's a human spirit that was an asshole in life that essentially became what a lot of people would assume is a demonic case nowadays.
Okay, here's the closest thing I've encountered. I've encountered a lot of human spirits who claim to be, who will come across and or say shit like, oh, I'm Satan, or I'm the devil, or I'm a demon, or whatever. Yeah, they were probably assholes in life, but they're human spirits who claim to be Satan, the devil, whatever. So that's the closest I can recall coming into contact with anything of that nature.
Okay, right. Here's another question for you. If you to meet any entity, which one would you like to meet that you've not met yet?
Oh, I'd like to meet Ken's gin.
What's that, Mistress B?
I'd like to meet Ken's gin.
Oh, can you tell us a little bit about that?
Gin and tonic.
Well, Ken, if you don't mind, can I explain a little bit?
Go ahead, baby. It's all you.
So Ken has a gin that has been attached to him since he was a child. When he was little, a lot of people thought it was an imaginary friend, and it wasn't until he was older that he realized what it was. And I felt his gin's power, and Ken said he's actually seen his gin, and I would like to see his gin. I've seen more than most people have in regards to Ken's gin, and I'm very familiar with his energy and his presence, but I would love to be able to see him and, speak with him and work with him on my own.
Very interesting. So Ken, what would What would you like to meet in a spiritual entity's form? What would you like to meet that you've not met yet?
That's a good question, man. And I honestly don't know because there's been so many that I've interacted with. I don't know. I don't really have an answer for you, bro.
There's actually a question there in the chat from Smith Family Paranormal. Have you worked with Abraxas?
No, I have not. But he is a day demon. He's a sun demon. There are certain demons that you call upon during this. Yeah, I know he's a day demon. I haven't worked with him yet because I like. Well, I'm not going to. Anyway, he's a day demon because there are some demons that you work with only at nighttime. You invoke them during the night, and there are some demons that you only invoke during like the peak of the sun, when the sun's in its zenith. And Abraxas is one of those demons. And I'm in Florida. I ain't invoking shit at 12 o'clock, bro. It's too fucking hot.
Oh my good God. Oh my God. Dakota, would you like to ask while I read the chat?
Well, I don't think we want to read the chat because somebody's asking if you could summon a succubus for him.
There you go.
Son of a bitch.
I mean, okay, here's the thing about a succubus. A succubus and an incubus are the same thing. The only thing they do is they change sex according to the person. So for me, a succubus is a female demon that fucks men. An incubus is a male demon that fucks women. I would want an incubus because I like the dick.
Why would somebody?
Could I summon one? Yeah.
He's literally asking how much you want him to pay. Oh my God.
I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. Money fucking talks. Money talks, bro. Money fucking talks.
$5 million.
Oh wow, fucking summon 12 of them motherfuckers. I don't. Money talks, baby.
Oh dear. Honestly, I've seen some crazy comments in my life, but that's very good in the Bald and Bonkers history.
He needs it bad, don't he?
Clearly.
That thing, he needs to get off.
Oh, dear God. That's
blue ball. Got some blue ball up in this mug.
There you go. You can ask Mr. Bee the same question there, Dakota. There's a question in the chat there for you, Mr. Bee, if you would like to see that.
Oh, God. What is it?
Someone was asking how much, what do you have to pay Ken and y'all to summon a succubus for him?
Because they got blue balls.
I don't want to mention that at all.
And I also want to say, how the hell is he not getting flagged on Twitch for saying that crap?
People are wild. I know. People are wild.
It might be a thing that he's into or something. I don't know.
I thought Mike the Naked Bigfoot was bad. My God.
I know. It's, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Bald.
Now, I will say this, and I wasn't going to bring it up. But I don't know. I fucking like you guys, so I have done certain devotion to Lucifer where I have. Oh my God! How can I even say this?
See, I thought you were into that.
It's almost as if I have done certain rituals where I have exchanged sexual energy with Lucifer.
Wow! What did that get you? Did that bring you money, or did that bring success again, or?
Autoerotica.
Ooh.
I mean, sex magic is some of the most powerful magic you can do.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's quite interesting because Mike in the chat there, Mike the Naked Bigfoot, he did a video called Sex and the Paranormal. And honestly, I'm amazed he managed to keep a straight face for the full hour that it was. It broke down a few times, and I need to get used to introduced to actually Mike the Naked Bigfoot. I think you would love his company. Honestly, I really do.
That's going to be our first Rated X episode.
Yeah, so if you
me and Lucifer autoerotica ritual. I did it myself. It was a solitary ritual where I summoned Lucifer, and it was an autoerotica thing, but he was there. There you go.
There you go, Dakota.
I wasn't there for that. I didn't watch this.
Yeah.
No, you wasn't.
Oh my
That's
God.
a little bit above my pay grade.
There's Mike, the naked Bigfoot. There you go. I'll let you read that one out, Dakota.
Mike, I see blown up sex dolls that look like the devil. Holy shit.
That's because he's going on the cheap end. You got to get the expensive one.
Yeah. The ones that come free with a puncture repair kit, you know.
Silicone robots.
But, so guys, taking it a serious note, taking it into a very serious note, because we've got about 15 minutes left of the show, where do you see your channel going in the future? Where do you see it going in the future?
I don't know, man. What do you think, Bee?
I'd like to see it continue to grow and continue to get bigger, and I would like to see just more people turning over their misconceptions about who we are and what we do. Because I think that what we do is so beautiful and so powerful in its own way, and I think that the more that people experience it and realize that just because we work with demons, we're not going to hell, and we still have souls. Ken doesn't, but he was born that way.
That's actually, you brought up a very good question, actually, Mistress B and Ken. What's your thoughts on the afterlife? What is the afterlife for you two?
I don't believe in. First of all, I don't believe in absolutes, and I don't believe in a heaven or a hell. And if hell does exist, it's sure as hell not in the fucking center of the earth. I mean, come on, that's the most asinine shit. It would be in another dimension. Now, I do believe.
Yeah, I believe.
I strongly do believe that certain people, like your Ted Bundys and your John Wayne Gacy's, they do suffer a type of hell in their afterlife. Maybe they're reliving over and over on a loop what their victims went through. Yeah. You know? But as far as an absolute hell where you go to, you know, in the fires and burn, that's a whole Christian thing that was pushed in Europe and even in the Middle East, everywhere. I mean, they tried to convert the Vikings into believing in hell, and the Viking afterlife is actually a beautiful thing. It's not torturous. There's a goddess named Hel or Hela. Yeah. Well, Valhalla is different than Hell. Right. Valhalla was for the warriors who died in battle. Yeah. Hel, Hel, ruled by the goddess Hela, Hela, was a place of rest and comfort and reuniting with your family. And there were great feasts held in her hall, shit like that. All right. I don't believe in that shit either, but no, there's no fucking heaven or hell. Spirits exist. All right. I know. I've worked with demons. I've worked with the dead. I've worked with the occasional angels. I've worked with jinn. There is life after death. There is life after death, but as far as a hell or a heaven, nah, that's bullshit. Sorry. I believe what I believe.
Yeah. I believe that there's no hell and there's no heaven. There's just somewhere where you go, and obviously we'll not find out until we go there. Mistress B, what's your thoughts?
I think I'd more closely realign with reincarnation, because one of the laws of thermodynamics is that energy can neither be created nor destroyed, only transferred. And I think that your consciousness, your spirit, has its own energy. And I think that if you've lived a good enough life, it's going to be dispersed into other things. Native American cultures believe in animism, which is that everything has a spirit. And so I think that it's very similar, that we're going to be dispersed unless there's something that's holding our spirit together, some sort of trauma or power or something like that.
I because energy cannot die, because it just goes on. It just lives forever, really, doesn't it? It was Mike, and he was actually doing a video on the reincarnation the other day there, and I found it very intriguing about how you can go, people can do like past life regression and to see who they were. Because some people have got fears of like deep water, some people have got fears of fire, and so on. Dakota?
Oh, no, it's absolutely an interesting topic. Even Carl Sagan said it was something that should probably be investigated at some point. Oh, look, double the Mistress Bee. Look at that.
Mistress Bee's back again.
Sorry, the universe does not want me in this podcast today.
I bet it's the mad world of podcasts, you know. It is the mad world of podcasts. So, Dakota, do you get any other questions there? He's looking round about him. I think Dakota's experiencing some strange stuff.
I just saw something moving right here.
Yeah. I can feel something moving in between us, and it's strange. There's a weird energy about tonight. Can you feel anything, Ken? Can you feel anything? Must be. It's like a weird kind of energy.
Yeah, there's always a weird energy around me, bro. I mean, you ask the average person, there's always a weird. I mean, Mistress B will tell you that when you're in my presence, you feel a heavy, powerful energy. So
I don't actually feel that for you. I feel like a really nice presence. Oh my God, I don't know why I said that.
I'm not. Of course. Yeah. I mean, I'm not evil or anything.
No,
I'm not evil or anything. I don't sacrifice virgins.
I know, but see, that is the misconception in the world. Everybody, that's what people really think is going on. Everybody that's into the paranormal and everybody that dabbles in this is concepted as evil, and it's no. And that's the strange thing. It's the world.
The biggest difference.
Maybe the world will get better in years to come.
I'm going to say this, and I've said it a lot, and maybe I shouldn't say it, but I have to say it. And I know Mistress B will agree with me because she's blinking her eyes, and I know that shit. I know that woman right there. We don't investigate. We don't just investigate the paranormal. As occultists, as a sorcerer and a sorceress, we are the paranormal.
Yes.
Absolutely. We put the weird in weird.
Yeah, it's weird that because it's weird because I've met some people that come on here and I've met some, and I always pick up weird energies. But you guys, the energies that's run about you, I feel they're all right. It's so weird. It's never really happened to me before that. It's strange. It's strange. Dakota.
No,
that's good though. That's good, man.
I'd say in a way it's almost like a bit more familiar type energy.
Yes.
You know?
That's what it's like. It's like something we know that it's. I think what we deal in today, I think maybe get stuff tied to it. If you know what I'm trying to say, it's the same type of level. We're just used to it over the years. So, Dakota, any more questions? Because we've only got 3 minutes left before the end of the show.
We can go a little over.
We'll go a bit longer.
So, when it comes to a lot of stepping kind of the UFO disclosure, because there's a lot of insiders who try to say that a lot of these extraterrestrial beings, they're actually the source of what we think of as demons nowadays. What's your thoughts on that, man?
Based on my experience, I don't see anything extraterrestrial or UFO about it. Maybe it is. Fuck, maybe I'm wrong. And you know what? If it is all aliens, I don't give a fuck. I'm happy either way.
Yeah.
Good. Who cares? Who gives a shit? The magic still works. I'm still interacting with these entities. I still have a good relationship. I don't care if they're ancient gods who were turned into demons or if they're extraterrestrials who were turned into demons. I don't give a shit. Whatever. Meh.
Yeah. Well, can I say, have you ever witnessed a strange thing in a UFO based? Have you ever witnessed anything like that?
I've never had any experiences with unidentified flying objects.
Right.
That's not the one weird thing you usually don't get out of Florida.
No.
No, believe it or not, and I keep my eye on. I mean, I have a telescope. I'm always looking in the sky because especially at night, we always, unless we got a hurricane or some shit going on, which aren't that bad, people freak out, oh my God, you live in Florida, hurricane. It's not that fucking bad. Get over it.
Well,
but most of the time, our night skies are clear, and I'm always looking up with my telescope and shit. No, I've never seen anything I could not identify, so.
There's actually Mike the Naked Bigfoot there. Maybe Lucifer is the one doing all the anal probing.
Well, he could anal probe me all day, baby.
There you go, Mike. We'll get you his number and you can give him a phone.
Oh.
Oh, dear Lord.
I couldn't help myself. I had to say that for Mike because he's always coming out with the strangest things, you know. It'd be actually quite good if Mike wanted to come in and meet Mike. Would you like to meet Mike?
Well, yeah, like I wouldn't be ashamed of it, baby.
Right, Mike, would you like to join, Mike? If I post this in the chat, would you like to...
But you know what? I love y'all guys, but we got to hurry up because I got to piss, baby.
All right.
There you go. We'll give it another 10, 15 minutes and you should be all right. Just don't think of waterfalls and stuff like that, you know?
I got my legs crossed.
It's Florida.
Satanic butt.
You know. Satanic. Oh my God.
What? Jesus Christ. The fucking religious trolls are going to have an aneurysm with this episode.
Satanic butt plug. What is it? Satanic butt plug? I think there's a market for it. What?
Here's something.
There's a market for everything.
It was actually my brother that said this, and it's actually quite interesting. The Bible quotes this, right? The Bible says if you go when you die, right? Just listen. This I think this is mad, right? Because I was thinking about this the other night. When you die, the Bible says when you die, right, you will feel no pain, right? Okay, That's what they say happened, right?
Yeah.
So they say about going to hell, and if you do a bad thing, you'll go to hell and you'll burn in agonising pain. But if you go to hell, you'll be dead. So how will you burn in agonising pain?
It's all contradictive. It's extremely contradictive. It's crazy shit.
Yeah.
All the time.
It's madness.
So, yeah.
It's madness. We should actually maybe arrange.
Butt plug.
We should maybe if you can't make it in, Mike, we could actually arrange one night. We could do a live with Mike the Naked Bigfoot. Would you like that, Ken? To meet him? Because I think the two of you,
hell yeah, baby! I'm always game.
Yeah,
I'm game for anything, baby.
Yeah. So
holy water enemas, God.
I think that would be a show, a 12 o'clock midnight show. With a big 50-year-old.
You know what? There are crazy. There are a couple of years ago. There came out of the woodwork these crazy bitches that believed in what's called anal demons. I'm not kidding you. This bitch was all over. I don't know how the hell she got so much publicity, but she was all over the news talking about anal demons and shit, and how to exorcise anal demons, and that the homosexuals were afflicted by anal demons. And,
well, actually, there's somebody in the chat there. Her name's PWI Spiritual Investigator. She would like to get you on the show. Would that be possible? Would you like to be on the show, Ken? And I could arrange that.
Yeah, I'll come on.
Send the link through.
Sure, I'll come on.
There you go, share it.
Yeah, baby.
There you go, share it. I will send you the link after, and you can contact him. There you go.
Yeah, I'll come on. No problem.
I think Mike can't make it tonight, so we'll arrange a show. So thank you, Ken, and can you thank Mistress Bee for coming? And hopefully we can arrange one night for everybody together, you know, and have a great chat, because it's been. I
think it would be great.
Fascinating. I would like to talk
it.
more. Yeah, it has been really good, and guys, please check out the links below. Go to their channel, give them a subscribe. Follow them everywhere. Could you like to give a wee bit of a plug? Your channel, places you can find you, Ken? Yeah.
So, if you could, please go to the Wizard's Table Podcast. It's on Facebook. The Wizard's Table Podcast is on YouTube and Twitch. The Wizard's Table, baby.
All links in the description, guys. Well, thank you very much for coming on, Ken, and thank you, Mrs.
Thank
B,
you. Hail Satan, hail Judas, and praise God, and pass the ammunition, y'all.
And catch you later, guys. And I'll talk to you behind the stage, guys. Right. Catch you later, guys. Bye-bye.
Later.
One.